dreams. We all want things, but what you gon' do for it? How you gon' move for it? What you gon' be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gon' do for it? How you gon' move for it? What you gon' be?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an evening of laughter as we explore the world of environmental economics. You might think that talking about sustainability and resource management is as dry as the Sahara Desert, but I'm here to prove that even the greenest topics can be right for humor. Environmental economists like me deal with complex issues, but I've managed to find the lighter side of balancing budgets and saving the planet. But before we dive in, my manager has a joke to kick things off. Rusty, your economic forecasts are so off, even Mother Nature rolls her eyes. While working as an environmental economist, this is what my manager said about my work. Rusty, your economic models are so inaccurate, even fortune tellers envy your level of uncertainty. My team's feedback on my work was quite the surprise. You're the only economist I know who can make a budget deficit look like a surplus. Let me share what my team had to say about my work just yesterday. Your spreadsheets are so messy, even accountants are afraid to clean them up. I've heard some things in my time, but what my superior said about my work was truly memorable. You crunch numbers so slowly, it's like watching paint dry on a spreadsheet. Ever had your work summed up by your chief in a single sentence? Mine did, and it was, if procrastination were a currency, you'd be the richest economist on the planet. So, my manager dropped this gem about my work recently. Even calculators have started asking for hazard pay when working with your data. Just when I thought I'd heard it all, my team said this about my work. Your economic theories are like a tangled ball of yarn impossible to unravel. One day, this is what my supervisor said about my work. You're like a human GPS, but instead of directions, you provide economic detours. Here's a good one. My head of department's take on my work was, your financial forecasts are so bleak, they make doomsday predictions seem optimistic. You won't believe the hilarious thing my manager said. Even the stock market has given up trying to figure out your predictions. Guess what my team said about my work during one of our meetings? Your economic reports are so convoluted, it takes a team of experts to understand them. Guess what my manager said during our meeting? Your analysis is so slow, it's like waiting for a glacier to finish its calculations. We went for a team building and my team leader dropped this gem. I've seen snails make faster financial decisions than you. So, my team leader came up with this singer about my work. Your economic recommendations are like a choose-your-own-adventure book with no happy endings. You'll get a kick out of what my manager said. Your financial advice is so confusing, even economists need an economist to translate. In the realm of unbelievable feedback, my administrator said this about my work. Your economic models are so outdated, even historians are wondering where you got them. Picture this. My team's comment on my work went something like this. You're so risk-averse that you once filed an environmental impact statement for a paperclip. So, on a Friday, my team came up with this gem about my work. Even a sloth on a coffee binge could outperform you in economic analysis. The other day, my boss had this to say about my work. Your budget proposals are like a maze with no exit. Last week, my controller threw this curved ball. If economic progress had a race, you'd be the one taking a leisurely stroll. My employer's feedback was quite the surprise when he said, your economic reports are so long, they've become bedtime stories for insomnias. My team's feedback on my work was quite the surprise. Even a Magic 8 ball has better accuracy in predicting economic trends than you do. Another day, I went to work and my manager said, your economic strategies are so confusing, even quantum physicists are scratching their heads. Just when I thought I'd heard it all, my manager said this about my work. Your financial spreadsheets are like hieroglyphics, nobody knows what they mean. Here's a good one. My team's take on my work was, your investment advice is so bad, you could bankrupt a Monopoly player. Let me share what my team had to say about my work just yesterday. Your market analysis is like trying to read tea leaves in a hurricane. Guess what my manager said during our meeting? Even the Bermuda Triangle has better financial stability than your recommendations. Picture this. My team's comment on my work went something like this. Your budget proposals are like a jigsaw puzzle with missing pieces. Just this Wednesday, my colleagues said this about me. You're so risk-averse that you'd buy insurance for a coin toss. Guess what my team said about my work during one of our meetings? Your economic theories are like a Rubik's Cube with no solution. My boss's perspective on my work took an unexpected turn when he said, your budget forecasts are so unrealistic, even unicorns are skeptical. In the realm of unbelievable feedback, my administrator said this about my work. You make financial decisions at the speed of continental drift. You'll get a kick out of what my manager said. Your investment strategy is like playing darts blindfolded, you rarely hit the target. Ever had your work summed up by your chief in a single sentence? Mine did, and it was, even a broken clock is right twice a day. You're like a clock that's always wrong. So, my manager dropped this gem about my work recently. You're the only economist who thinks budget surplus means spending more. I've heard some things in my time, but what my superior said about my work was truly memorable. Your financial acumen is so questionable, even a lemonade stand would go bankrupt under your guidance. Just when I thought I'd heard it all, my team said this about my work. Your market predictions are like weather forecasts in the Sahara, consistently wrong. I had to hold back laughter when my team commented on my work like this. You're like a financial GPS that constantly recalculates and never reaches the destination. I couldn't believe it when my executive remarked this. Your investment portfolio is like a menu with all the options crossed out. Picture this. My executive's comment on my work went something like this. Even the Great Wall of China would collapse under the weight of your budget recommendations. Let me share what my director said about my work on Tuesday. Your economic strategies are so ineffective, you could turn a gold mine into a coal pit. So, there I was on a coffee break when one of my colleagues said to me, your financial decisions are like playing chess with pigeons. They knock over all the pieces and strut around like they won. One of my colleagues dropped this gem on Monday. Your budget analysis is so slow, you make a sloth look like a speed demon. One day, this is what my supervisor said about my work. You're the only economist who would bring a calculator to a poker game. We went for a team building and my team leader dropped this gem. Even a coin flip has better odds of success than your investment advice. It's like my superintendent woke up and decided to roast my work with this comment. Your market predictions are like a crystal ball that always shows error. So, my team leader came up with this singer about my work. Your financial models are so outdated, even cavemen had a better grasp of economics. While working some extra hours, my team said this. Your economic theories are like a choose-your-own-adventure book with only one bad ending. You won't believe what my team said about my work recently. You make budget planning look like a choose-nothing adventure. Here's a good one. My head of department's take on my work was, your budget forecasts are like reading a novel written in a foreign language, utterly incomprehensible. You won't believe the hilarious thing my manager said. Your investment strategies are like trying to find a needle in a haystack blindfolded. I had to hold back laughter when my administrator commented like this. Your economic reports are so dense, they could form a black hole of confusion. So, my manager dropped this gem about my work recently. Your financial analysis is like trying to solve a Sudoku puzzle with no numbers. Guess what my manager said during our meeting? Even a broken compass has better direction than your financial guidance. You won't believe the hilarious thing my manager said. Your investment portfolio is so diverse, it includes a collection of rare and valuable beanie babies. The other day, my boss had this to say about my work. Your budget recommendations are like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. Impossible. You won't believe what my team said about my work recently. Your market predictions are like trying to predict the weather on Mars. My boss's perspective on my work took an unexpected turn when he said, even a magic 8-ball could provide more accurate financial advice than you. Another day I went to work and my manager said, you're so risk-averse, you'd consider crossing the street a high-stakes gamble. So, my team leader came up with this singer about my work. Your financial strategies are so convoluted, even the Bermuda Triangle is confused. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed our journey through the world of environmental economics tonight. It's been a pleasure to share a few laughs about my profession. And remember, while I may make jokes about it, we all play a vital role in shaping our economic and environmental future. Before we wrap up, my manager has one more quip. Rusty, if your economic analysis was a renewable resource, we'd have an infinite supply of bad ideas. Thank you for being here and have a good day. See you on the next one.
And we all got dreams, we all want things. But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything?
Hey, I may be the worst at my job, but at least I am entertaining. Leave a comment down below and let me know what your manager is saying about your work. And if you didn't enjoy this show, well, I promise I'll try even harder to disappoint you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, stay employed and keep smiling.